Welcome to the Giving a Purpose podcast, where we bridge the highs, the lows, the lessons learned through life's journey, and filling in the gap. Y'all already know what this is, man. It is a new week. But also with this week, you got to realize it's the last week of March. So you got to, even though it's the end of the quarter of the year, of the first quarter of the year, you also got to think about it like this. We marching into the rest of our destiny. So you got to stay focused. You got to keep your energy up. All right. Listen, the game isn't over. Only the first quarter is ending. And so I need you to keep that mindset. Listen, the game isn't won yet and the game isn't lost yet. But we have to stay committed. We have to stay consistent, and we have to be disciplined in what we do. That's the mood. That's the mode for all year. So we can make sure that we get all of our goals accomplished. But there's something else that we got to have. We got to have faith, right? Because without faith, it's impossible. But you got to have faith. You got to have belief. But coming with those things and doing things consistent, something that I tell my team all the time, but it's something that I kind of struggle with. So can I be honest with y'all? Can I really be honest with y'all just a little bit? Let me be honest with y'all just a little bit. I struggle in the confidence area. I told myself one day, man, once I get it together with the confidence part, I'm going to be unstoppable. And there's nothing that I'm going to be accomplished. I'm going to shock a lot of people with the things that I am going to get accomplished. And it's crazy because I get lots and lots of downloads of visions and different things that I want to do. But doubt kills it. And doubt kills it because sometimes I lack the amount of confidence, right? And it's also important because the things that we get, if we can take it biblically, and I'm paraphrasing, I'm not doing the scripture word for word right now, but the things that we have and we get are according to our faith and what we believe. And what if you don't have that belief in yourself? And the crazy thing is, man, that I'm noticing is that I need to work on is because it's been a part of the culture. It's been a part of what we think a job is. Can I take it there for a second? I'm very good and confident in helping other people with their dreams. Sounds crazy, but if you think about the job that we have, some of us that are not at our, I want to say our dream jobs, but some of us that are not at that, we're not in the career that we want to. We work for somebody else. We're not an entrepreneur or whatever the case may be. You don't necessarily have to be an entrepreneur to necessarily not work for yourself and do something that you do with passion. But most of us go to a job to support somebody else's dream, right? We work a 9 to 5 supporting somebody else's dream. I want you to allow that to sink in a little bit. Not your dream, but somebody else's dream. And we're taught that, we're bred that. It's kind of in our DNA because most of the people that we know that may be wealthy, especially in the Black culture, they're probably first generation wealthy. They don't have that generational wealth that we're now talking about, different things like that, because they're new at it. It's not something that we do, but something I tell my players that I need to do in every area of my life. See, I can be honest, I don't do it in every area of my life. Then I have to be confident about, like, the repetition and doing things over and over again will build the confidence in the things that I want. I'm not gonna lie, man. Sometimes I have days I feel worn. I feel drained. I know what I have to do. I know what I want to do. But sometimes the energy in there, and I know we shouldn't do things on feelings. We shouldn't do things like that. But sometimes there is a drainage of of just life, you know. You may have job problems, relationship problems. You may have health problems. You may just have mental problems, just all kind of things weighing us on life. And what I'm learning is I have to work on one of the key things that I tell you guys to work on is not just doing the routine, it's having the discipline even when you don't feel like doing the routine. All right. Because it takes discipline to do the routine. And all these things that we mix those ingredients up. If we do the discipline, if we're committed to what we're doing, if we're consistent, right? That is the ingredients for the confidence, right? You build confidence after you do the things over and over again. Because you know what lessons when you do those things, right? Your confidence goes up, but the anxiety goes down, the fear goes down, right? The doubt goes down, and now you adopt that and take it. And so what I'm struggling with is I have confidence in some things, right, but not in every area of my life because of the mindset that I talked about before, but also the mindset of not understanding that failure was a part of the process and not condemning me as a person or my character or the lack of my abilities, if that makes sense. See, I was always taught, I don't want to say I was always taught, but I always felt that the failure was you can't do this. Not that it's another try to get it right. It's you're not good enough. Not that take the lesson from that failure and do it again. You will never get this done. Well, no, patience is a part of the process. But my discipline has to be stronger than my feelings. It has to be, we talked about a couple of things. Discipline has to be stronger than your habit. Because even when that habit and that routine, right? That routine, I think routine was the word I used. That routine is failing you, your discipline has to kick in. It has to overpower everything. When you're tired, that discipline has to kick in. It reminds me of something one time. I remember in college, man. Listen, when I tell you, I did a lot of praying. Man, I think I literally prayed my way out of college to graduation. I really did. But the point I was trying to make is, I would say my prayers all the time at night. That's how I grew up. I wasn't as consistent as I was like growing up at home in high school and stuff like that, being at home. But when I was at college, I made sure that I prayed all the time. And it was so crazy that the discipline I had for making sure that I prayed at night, I literally, if I fell asleep watching TV, my body would wake me up in the middle of the night. It was like, you didn't say your prayers. And I would drop to my knees. We're not going to say all the time, but most of the time I would drop to my knees on the side of the bed, make sure I prayed. And there were some days the discipline was there, but I may not have moved out of that bed, but I damn sure prayed. You know what I'm saying? So I want you guys to understand, like, your discipline has to be so on point, so tight that it wakes you up out of your sleep. Like, that's the point I'm trying to get back to. I'm trying to get back to a point where my discipline overtakes my feelings, even when I'm tired, even when I'm drained. Now, I'm saying that not to feel back, not to have those moments where you're filling back up your cup. All right. Not that you're drawing from a dry well all the time. I'm not saying that, because there is a time where you need to mentally repair yourself, where you have to be intentional about your mental space, about your physical space, right? And intentional about the things that you do every day. It's funny, man. I have so many people that don't believe, like, I literally have a plan for every hour, right? When I wake up, I have a plan for my week. I have a plan for my day. Now, the thing that I talked about before in a previous podcast is that I had to learn, I would plan so much and have all these things, and I'm always thinking about the next thing in a chess world. But what I got lost in, and the things that I think I messed up on was, even though you plan and you have those things, you have to be in the moment, right? And being in the moment, even in the practice, builds the confidence. And I think because I was always trying to be ahead, I wasn't focusing on the intentionality of being in the moment that would build my confidence for that next step. I was just going so on autopilot that I was accepting failure as failing and not as a lesson. Right. And so I didn't take time to assess and make myself better because I was thinking that I wasn't good enough. I was hearing that I wasn't good enough, and I felt not good enough. So it's something, like I said, that I still struggle with. Sometimes I have to work on the discipline. Like, that's my goal for this year. My goal is to form a new discipline of having discipline, if that makes sense. Right? I need to discipline myself on stop being undisciplined. And then the commitments will be easier and the consistency will get a little easier in every area of my life. So discipline is so important, but you know what that's going to help me with? My confidence. Listen, there are some days, I do these, I'm not sure. I'm like, was that good? And believe it or not, I don't watch all my episodes. I'm like, what? Wait, you don't? What? Nope. I think because it's not that I don't have the confidence, because I pray that everything that I do is fruitful and it's of service to the people that I'm talking to and the people that I serve. But sometimes I don't have the confidence in myself in maybe the presentation, or maybe the confidence I want it at the level that I want. But I also have to also humble myself to the process. Like, yes, man, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, man. I want 3 cameras. I want 3 different angles. I want to put on this big production, but I know that I have to meet the demand of some things. You know what I'm saying? I have to create content, valuable content, that the things that I'm doing here, and it's not about the money, but the things that I'm doing here pays for those things. And not necessarily like, all right, I got to rush to do this. I got to create this and create that. But I understand that when I have the confidence in me and I start believing in myself more, I start with myself, the confidence is going to come. Now, there was one time, there was times in my life where I was just confident in certain sports and just things like that. And then, you just have that certain swag about it. But that's what I need in every area of my life. Listen, I want you guys to take this journey with me and understand that. Watch, you're going to see a transformation in me of confidence. All right. The things that I'm working on, I'm going to work on my confidence and I'm going to work on my discipline. Listen, I know you guys watch a lot of stuff on YouTube and you hear a lot of podcasts, and people are talking about the things that they've already accomplished. But guess what? You're going to take this journey with me, and we're going to take it together. If you're lacking confidence, join me. If you're lacking discipline and not applying it to every area in your life, join me. Let's work on it together. Right? And then we can help each other. You guys leave comments. Let me know what you're working on and what you think and what you lack confidence in. Man, I just need you guys to know, I appreciate you guys so much, man. I want you guys to keep locking in and take this journey with me. Listen, we just finished the first quarter. The game is not won and the game is not lost, but the goal is still to win. Listen, if you haven't already, man, if you made it to this part, don't forget, down in that corner over there, man, hit the subscribe button. Also hit that bell so you get all the alerts so you don't miss anything. All my listeners on YouTube. Listen, if you want to follow us on IG, it's giving_a_purpose_podcast. Also, if you want to follow me, the brand Mr. LA, if you need me to come workshops, anything, help your business, help your leadership, work with your kids and their confidence and their ability to do their best. Hit me up, Mr. LA_2, Twitter and IG. If you want to be a guest, if you want to reach out to me as well, you can also hit me up at givingapurposepodcast@gmail.com. Listen, man, I appreciate you guys. I love you guys so much. And you guys actually inspire me. It's crazy. Not side note, but a kind of continuation, man. I used to tell people, man, I'm shy. And they were like, what? No, like the things that I do, it reminds me like when I used to be in a band, right? It's crazy. Like I didn't think people were listening to the stuff that I was saying, but I knew that once I heard that hi-hat and that bass drum, something turned on, right? I had the confidence to say the things that I was saying. I had the confidence to be there. It was like at first, like, you really about to get out here? Don't play yourself. But having that confidence, just going out and that, just having that crank hit. Listen, man, it was something special. But I want that in every area of my life. I want to walk out and live in the moment of the day, command the moment of the day, and have the confidence to walk through every day with a boldness that only God can give, and the faith that I can truly accomplish. Like, we quote a lot of scriptures, but do you truly believe it? Do you truly believe and have the confidence to walk in that? It's good to quote the scriptures. It's good to say the scriptures. It's good to decree and declare and all the holy things above. But do you truly believe it? Can you truly walk in it? Can you say, I am that? You are what you always do. Are you always confident? Or are you sometimes confident? Or are you never confident? I want you to go look at yourself in the mirror and say, I am confidence. I am confident. And I can accomplish anything I set my mind to. Listen, I need you guys to do the two most important things I ask you to do all the time. And that's to make sure you live on purpose, and then make sure you live in purpose. See you guys next week. Peace.
You've been listening to the Giving a Purpose podcast. We hope you've enjoyed the show. Be sure to subscribe on iTunes, Spotify, or Google Play to get new, fresh weekly episodes. For more, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter.